Great, thank you. Thanks, it sounds like this is on. Thanks for the invitation to the organizers. It's really a thrill to be here. And because this is a conference about invertibility and dualizability, I'm gonna give a kind of talk that I really haven't before, in that it's really at the forefront of my knowledge about this topic. And I think it's really appropriate for this conference to take stock of the state of the art of what we know about some of the things that Mike was talking about in his talk this morning. So I think there are connections from my talk to every other talk that's been given here so far, which is a little unusual. And so hopefully I can mention as many of those connections as possible, but since there are 50 apparently very long minutes, we might not get everywhere. Okay, so let me just go ahead and start on so the zero, so units and Picard groups. So R is going to be basically always a connective E-infinity ring spectrum. And I can define the space of, I can define the space of units as the homotopy pullback of this square. Okay, so this is our pullback. It's a space with the same homotopy groups as R in positive degrees, but in degree 0, it's the units in the ring pi 0 R, okay? And one of the interesting things that I'm not really going to justify is that we want to de-loop this E-infinity space. This is a group like, this was mentioned by Vesna, a group like E-infinity space. And we're interested in de-looping this in interesting ways. So of course, this is an E-infinity space, so I can de-loop this until we'd all be very bored. But for various reasons, this is just not what I want to do. The main reason that I don't want to do this is that GL1R is actually an étale sheaf for E-infinity ring spectra, but as soon as I de-loop it even once, it's no longer a sheaf. So one of the criteria I want to do is I want to de-loop it in a way that it stays a sheaf. The other thing that I want to do, well, I could of course just sheafify these de-loopings on some étale site of connective E-infinity rings. Okay, so there's always that. The other condition I want is I want to de-loop it in a way that I can interpret the homotopy classes as some kinds of interesting objects. So the first way I'm going to do that is define pic R. This is going to be, let's see. So underline pic R. This is going to be the space of invertible objects in the infinity category of R module spectra. So everything in this talk is going to be an infinity category, blah, blah, blah. So hopefully that doesn't cause any confusion. So this is going to be the space of invertible objects in mod R. And pic without the underline is going to be pi 0 of pic of R. And if you think about what so I can point this, I can choose a distinguished invertible object, so that's going to be R itself, and its space of automorphisms is exactly GL1R. So it turns out that this is a one-fold de-looping of pic of GL1 of R. So this is already dead. Okay. So this is good. And the other nice thing about it is that we actually understand